Ooh.
Stokes, why haven't you put him in? Are you saying that?
Yeah. He's not a villain to me. He's a villain to a lot of people.
Oh,
but,
he's not appealing to you, yeah?
I wonder what the
Shot
journalist
journalist.
would say about him. He'd definitely say he's a villain. So
You reckon?
yeah, yeah.
If Maradona shot me and I stayed alive, I think I'd be like, yo, you man, guess who shot me?
No, I'm good.
Like, Diego
Start
Maradona.
showing everybody, hey, yo, you man,
Yeah.
look at this one. Man, shot me.
Doesn't that make Chelsea fans the villains, not the ref himself?
No, we're the vigilantes. We're the justice seekers. Bro.
Are you?
No,
No,
oh,
you're
the Chelsea
not.
fans, the vigilantes.
No.
Yo, what is everyone saying? Welcome back to another episode of the Salt 90 Pod with guys like Martinez, Maupay, and now Ashley Young in the news recently for their ability to rattle people. We are here to bring you our top 10 football villains of all time. And joining me to discuss these villains, I had to bring back a man who was perhaps the most hated among the ultras, but obviously absence makes the heart grow fonder. He's a bit of a criminal himself for supporting United and Aston Villa. Mav, how you feeling?
Do you know what? That's actually the closest intro I think you've ever done to describe me. So I'll take that one for sure. But I'm looking forward to this. It should be a lot of fun.
Likewise. And next up, if you watch this guy play FIFA or EAFC, you will know that his play style alone should have him in this list. He's also an avid Anthony defender as well, for whether you say on the pitch, off the pitch, I don't know. Stokes, how you feeling today, buddy?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I don't think them stocks are worth much anymore, but
yeah, that will be a video that we'll definitely be visiting. Was it end of May, June time? I don't know. And lastly, I've made him sit there and wait for his name to be called last. I'm surprised he's even wearing this shirt today. This is a massive Havertz hater. He's a Jackson defender. I guess we got to give him some credit for showing up today. Ali, how is the mental health?
Bit down in the dumps, but you know what I mean. I'm waiting for next season. We stay patient.
It's been a while being patient. What was your first reaction, would you say, when you saw Havertz finally bag that goal into the roof of the net?
That rattled me more than even the scoreline. I can't lie. How dare he celebrate? How dare he celebrate against us? The joke, man.
Little knee slide as well. I loved it. But there we go. Anyway, top 10 list. They're very straightforward as always. It is going to be the four of us plus 5 viewers/mods. We have Alfie, Ted, Aaron, Haf, and a certain Rossified has joined the voting panel. Look at Stokes' face.
Okay.
So this should be an interesting one. It is a top 10 football. It can be players, managers, members of staff. Anyone football related can get on the list. Obviously, first place in your top 10 list gets them 10 points. Second place is 9 points, then 8, 7, so on and so forth until 10th on your list gets them 1 point. I then combine everyone's list together to get our combined top 10, along with a very, very large amount of honorable mentions. So I'm not even going to waste too much time. Otherwise, we'll be here for 2 hours. These names I'm not going to spend long on because they got maybe just 1 point, these first 5. We start in 40th.
Flipping hell.
In 40th, Rossi has voted for Antonio Conte. Fair enough. I somewhat hear it. Alfie's giving a point to a guy called Tabo Rakali. I had no idea who this was until I Googled him. Apparently, he's one of the, those guys that showboats for Orlando Pirates and that. He just violates opponents. So if that gets top 10, fair enough. Another one, 38th place. Mav has given us, I guess he was there watching him back in the day, Platini.
Oh.
No, mine isn't actually for football moments.
You sure?
Mine is for the scumbaggery that he has committed since. But yeah, that's why I voted him. I can't lie. He is a villain for football and the world.
Yeah. Stokes, what did you think of him as a player when you were watching him?
Quite my era, but you know.
Someone that Stokes has put in 37th place is Sam Allardyce.
Yeah. Now, I actually really like the bloke, but I just think it's so funny. Do you know what I mean? Like that whole story of him meeting up that journalist, drinking under the table. It's unreal, honestly. Proper shit house. I loved when he laughs in players' faces, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love
that was the Swansea one, isn't it? Yeah. Chico Flores over here. Good times to be fair. I was hoping you were going to put a different name there that we discussed in DMs afterwards. But no problem. It is what it is. And the last one that got 1 point, I nominated this man, Eric Ten Hag.
You know what? Maybe.
Why does he always go around trying to give these cold aura speeches like he's some super villain, bro? You ain't that guy. He started with that all eras comes to an end. He's got the shiny, bold head to give off the villain aura. and he's just constantly blaming everyone else, and he thinks he's like the main character of the world. So that's why I've got Erik ten Hag in, and also because I just like to laugh at the fact that obviously Mav and Stokes used to have a lot of Ten Hag arguments back in the day. So congrats to him.
So me, my fault.
I'll take it.
Yeah, these next 5 got 2 points. So in 35th place, Haf has given a point to Marco Materazzi, obviously for the Zidane incident. Fair enough. Aaron has given a couple points to John Terry, which I'm surprised actually. I didn't even really think.
I didn't even think about that, but that's actually a decent shout.
Very decent. Ali's given 2 points to.
I just remembered someone I didn't put on my list, and I should have.
Let us know maybe later if his name hasn't come up. It might come up.
Mentioned, he should do. He should do, I think.
Fair enough. Ali in 33rd place has given us Thierry Henry. That's my mate, so be careful how you talk about him.
No, them quick free kicks he used to take, and then the handball as well.
The handball he belongs in there. Yeah.
But these things happen, bro.
Irish fans still hate him. They still hate him to their core now.
And he actually used to be a bit of a prick, innit, back in the day. Nowadays he comes as, Mr. Nice Guy and that, but he used to show his arrogance on the pitch.
Yeah, fair enough. No, you know what? I hear it. I mean, I like it. I like him rather, but there we go. The next 2 on 2 points. Mav says Neymar is a football villain.
Yes, I genuinely don't see a player like him get as much hate for just, I don't know, moving from Barcelona to PSG, for example, because he stopped playing with Messi, and they've just hated on him since.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't think he's a villain per se, but it's a objective list, isn't it? So you put whatever you want. Because Stokes, I mean, I hear Stokes is one more, so Scott Brown.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just trying to think, like, when I was thinking of this, I was just, who do I think is like the face of like a scumbaggery type situation? You know what I mean? And when I think of that whole like rivalry, I just picture him just fighting and just like getting in people's faces and like, just.
Supposedly he was also bold by choice, isn't it? Like when he retired, he just grew bare hair.
Yeah, that's psychotic. So
Fairs makes sense. We go into our top 30. Here we go. We got through those first 10 pretty quickly. We did well. Stokes is back again, talking about scumbaggery and whatnot. In 30th place, it's not a player. It's not a manager either. It's Mike Ashley.
Yeah. No, I had to do it. I had to do it. And obviously the Newcastle fans will know more than me, but just some of the stuff he did, man, like naming the ground, like such a historic ground after his company, just like these, like all these things, you know, like.
I mean, Sports Direct done his thing, to be fair.
Okay, you know, okay company.
Got some nice boots.
There's just so many stories about him, you know, and he's just a bad owner, really bad owner. So.
Didn't even think about it, but I actually do hear it. I genuinely do hear it. He was hated by everyone at Newcastle.
I hope by that logic, Stokes, you also have the Man City owners, and we'll wait and see.
I don't have room.
29th place, Aaron has nominated Anelka, which I was actually thinking about him, to be fair. He's played for about 58 clubs and isn't really loved by any of them, maybe bar Chelsea. Probably like West Brom, and I don't know how they rate him, but, you know, fair enough on Anelka. Rossi has given some points to Zinedine Zidane. I don't really think he's a villain. Like, I mean, the end of his career, story-wise, I hear that, but don't know about that one. So, Rossi, so far, the names you've given, you know, you were asking to be on the panel. And I don't know if these names are really moving me that much. Haf has given some points to Van Bommel. I'll be honest, I don't know what that's for. Do any of you man have a clue?
I'll be honest, I don't even remember him being a violent, horrible
player. I don't know what it is. Maybe I have to Google it or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the last one on that many points is given by Tedinho. It is Carlos Tevez. I assume for the shift from Manchester clubs.
R.I.P. Fergie as well. That's
a bit mental, you know. That was crazy. Man put up the board like that saying R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Fergie's an old man, bro. I can actually do that.
Yeah, that's actually kind of deep, isn't it? Like, it's not even like there was mad beef between them. He just goes on. Like, can you imagine, like, not the same yet, but for example, someone that crashed it on your head, yeah? Imagine, like, Havertz doing, like, R.I.P. Poch or something. Can you imagine that, Ali? That would be crazy.
I'll smack him up for that.
I think
that's and then he has the cheek to not celebrate his second goal. Come on, man. Just celebrate both at this point.
Now, I think Odegaard jumped on him too quickly, man. I told him, get off, man. Let him go run and celebrate. But there we go. We get into our top 25. We've had players, we've had an owner now. Now I introduce you to a referee, Mike Dean. I have submitted.
Yeah, he deserves it.
I think he's always trying to be the center of attention every time.
I agree with that, actually, yeah.
Like, refs are meant to be there to obviously uphold the integrity of the match and keep people safe. But this guy is like, he's the star of the show. And obviously, honorable mentions to guys like Mark Clattenburg, who, if I'm not mistaken, has a Champions League tattoo, right? Is it him that has the tattoo of a Champions League because he refereed it one time? Yeah. So, yeah, there are a few refs I could have mentioned, but I think when you think of like bad refs in general in the Premier League, it's usually Mike Dean and then Howard Webb, the United
the
fans,
bold ones.
Anthony Taylor. There's a lot of them, innit? There's a lot of them. There we go.
Oh, there is.
24th, welcome back, Stokes. Craig Bellamy, another one who crushed it on Chelsea recently as a manager this time.
Just one of them from my younger years. I just remember being a proper like shit house. I remember there's a story like he swung a golf club at one of his teammates and stuff. Like he's a bit loose, and I always remembered him as being a guy I really disliked at Liverpool and stuff. So
it was John Arisa. He had a little fight in the hotel room. So fair enough. Ali, how did you feel when obviously Craig Bellamy like out-coached Poch the other week? What do you think about that?
Everybody seems to be doing it right now, so you know what I mean? It's not much of an achievement.
Fair enough. Mav, you are here, 23rd place.
Okay.
And I hear this one. I was considering it. It's a guy that I like. Emmanuel Adebayo.
Yeah, I can't lie. I think he cemented himself in that for very, very obvious reasons. To run all the way down the other pitch. I'm pretty sure a plastic chair got thrown at him at one point. That's how much they hated on him. And he just kind of, I don't know, he was just kind of one of those guys who just didn't seem to care about much and just wanted to have a good time and annoy people. So I had to put him on there for me. I remember people really disliking him no matter where he went. So
yeah, I fully back that one. I mean, even his own family are his ops, right? Like, he has beef with his whole family. If I'm not mistaken, I think there was a story about like how, he send people money back home and then they go on YouTube to go and buy stuff, or they start selling jam with Adebayo's face on it and that. So he's definitely like a serious villain. Particularly, my favorite villain quote of his, when he was at Spurs, he was wearing like an Arsenal shirt in like a random like an Arsenal polo shirt for an interview, but he was saying, now that I'm at Spurs, when you cut open my blood, you don't see red blood. You only see white blood cells for Tottenham. I said, what's this geezer yapping about, bro? You only see white blood for Tottenham. Shut up, mate. But that's my guy anyway, man. 22nd. Ali. Florentino Perez.
Oh, yeah. He's a villain, man. Just the whole Luis Figo thing alone is enough to get him there. And then if you think about the whole the Super League thing, he's probably the number one villain in football right now.
Yeah,
Loki, I kind of do hear it. He does give off like some kind of mafia kind of vibe, innit? Where he's
like the ringleader. So like,
he kept saying, you guys can think that you're going to stop this, but I'm going ahead with this Super League regardless.
No, true say. And also to be like, a politician as well in them sides, you got to be a bit of a interesting character. So I can let that one land.
I can hear it for sure. I'm definitely not against it.
Yeah. He's a massive fan of going to Brazil and obviously scooping up all the Brazilian youngsters, shall we say. I've seen some videos of him animated chasing guys like Endrick and Vitor Roque down the street. So therefore not ideal. So we now get in... No, we don't get into our top 20. You have 21st place. Alfie has given some points to a United former captain, Roy Keane.
I can't hear that one. I'll be honest.
I just think the tackle.
I don't know. I don't think you'd label him as a villain. I mean, a hard man and stuff, but not villain. I don't know. That's a bit...
If I'm not mistaken, though, he did obviously live on television threaten to punch David De Gea in the face when he let in a goal against Tottenham. That's kind of...
It's passionate, but I don't think he's seen as a villain by anyone, to be honest.
Fair enough. Maybe Erling Haaland's dad.
Haaland family.
Yeah. He's a bit of a Scrooge on TV, innit? Like, he's always moaning at guys celebrating or being too happy or whatever. Maybe not a villain per se. He's just...
If we did top 10 grumpy people, he'd be top of the list for sure.
Yeah.
He'd definitely be up there for that.
Right. We now get into our top 20. And in 20th place with 7 points, I'm the only one that had this guy, which is a bit surprising. Maybe you guys don't really class him as a villain per se. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Oh no! I just same with Roy Keane. I can't lie. Even me, the biggest Ibra hater in terms of like people overrating him. But I just, as a person, I don't think many people hate him and really see him as a villain. Personally,
a lot of guys tell him to grow up and stop calling himself a lion at the age of 40. Like a lot of people are saying like he's got
that's arrogance though, isn't it? And people don't like arrogance because they don't have it themselves, so they just don't like it.
I feel like when you want to be a villain, you want to be like, I guess, the main guy. You don't care about anyone. So when Juve are getting dock points, it's like, yeah, you know what? Boom, cool. I'll go Inter. You leave there. You know what? Cool, fine. I'm gonna go Milan instead. Your direct rivals. Obviously, had beef with Pep. He called him a lot of names that I can't call him without getting banned off of YouTube. So I feel like he's the kind of guy that he centers everything around himself. His interviews, even he's there. Yeah. Even back in the day, telling Arsene Wenger, I don't do trials and that.
No, he's got main character syndrome for sure. But I don't.
As a villain, he's not the good guy. He ain't the good guy.
No, but I wouldn't see him as a villain either. He just thinks he is the main character.
I'm the only one to put him, so I guess everyone agrees with you guys. So fair play. 19th place. Only one man has this guy again. I understand why he has him, but the rest of us, we found it incredible. Because in 19th place, we have a referee. His name is Ovrabo, the referee from Chelsea versus Barcelona 2009.
I was thinking, who the hell is that?
Ali chat to us about Tim Ovrabo.
You guys felt my pain that day, but I nearly cried that day because of that man. You know what I mean? I don't think he read again after that. That shows how villainous he was. He had to stop.
Yeah, I think he retired because he got to... No, because you man kept on sending him threats. That's why he retired.
Yeah, because if we buck him, it's going to be peak, bro. Like, my man show his face. Ovrabo, Drogba will say enough about him.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make Chelsea fans the villains, not the ref himself?
No, we're the vigilantes. We're the justice seekers.
Bro. Are you? No, you're not.
Chelsea fans are the vigilantes.
No, you're
the
not.
Chelsea fans are the good Samaritans of the sport, yeah? That's news to me. Fair enough.
There's certain train station incidences that would say very different to being vigilantes, my boy.
Indeed, but fair enough. Yeah, now that Stokes mentions that, maybe I could have had a spot on here for an entire fan base. I put Chelsea fans in my top 10 list, to be honest with you, but alas, there we go. Actually, speaking of Chelsea fans, did you man see it on TV? I don't know. When I was there, yeah. No, there was what? Not that. Sign. No, there was someone holding an inflatable Champions League trophy.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Like a balloon. Yeah. The entire game, yeah, he didn't even like move it down once. Everyone's leaving the stadium. They're like swearing, shouting at Havertz. This guy's just there holding up the trophy in front of like Arsenal fans. I'm thinking, all right, man, that is
reminding you.
It's a bit embarrassing, but
have
a balloon, yeah, fairs, man. Enjoy that balloon. We go over to 18th place, Mav. This one, I back you on it, but I didn't put him in again. I made my list before. I didn't want to change it. It's a man who currently plays in North London, Richarlison.
Yeah, he's literally one of the most hated footballers that plays football currently. People absolutely cannot stand him. I can't believe more people haven't put him on. But I mean, Alfie probably doesn't want to because he's a Tottenham player right now. But previous to that, he probably hated him. Yeah, I think he is out to rattle people. He's fully aware of it. I mean, he had his whole team did the pigeon dance because they know how hated he is. So I think that was a no-brainer. But
no, I'll be real. Like when I saw you put him, I said, you know what? I probably should have done it as well. But again, I didn't. Like I already made the thing. I didn't want to change my list. There's so many things. Like you said, there's the pigeon dancing. There's the tweets towards like Liverpool fans and whatnot. Like I remember he dived against Arsenal like years ago when he was playing for Watford, and everyone shouted at him. And he just tweeted saying like, "I'm drowning in a river of tears," with music, like lyrics and that. So he's definitely a massive rattler. Stokes, would you have put him in? Had you?
Yeah, no, I like him. I think that's kind of what held me back a little bit because there's a few players that probably are villains, but yeah, because he did that thing with the when the fans did that coach thing that they Liverpool fans, and then he tweeted like a picture of him on driving a bus.
Richard Arliss.
No, he's a troll. He deserves to be up there.
Even just like them kick-ups against Forest, like I just find it funny. So fair enough.
Had the commentators tweaking as well.
Yeah,
oh my god!
And a certain Roy Keane wasn't happy afterwards either as well.
Of course he was.
There we go. All right, in 17th place, Alfie has put a man that got a little mention earlier, but for different reasons. He has put Luis Figo.
I was considering it. I really was considering it, but I thought at the same time it's only a Spain thing, really, isn't it? Like no one in the UK gives a rat's about him moving clubs and the way he was. So I didn't really. If he'd played for like an English team and done it in an English team, it would have been pretty more violent. But I don't know. I just don't think anyone really cares other than Spanish fans, which is understandable.
I mean, there will be some Barca fans definitely watch, because I know, because they comment on these all the time when Barca players get insulted. I would like to know, like, do you men even now hate Figo? Because I feel like Figo is just a nice guy. Yeah. Like, I know, obviously, it's a mad transfer, innit? Like, I know they were chucking pig's heads and that, but I feel like he's an all right dude, man. He made a transfer choice, and obviously I get why they weren't happy, but I'd imagine, like,
didn't R9 as well? I thought
he did. He did.
R9 did both Milans. He did
both
Barca,
Milans,
Madrid. He does whatever, but because he's smiley, they love him, innit? No one ever calls him a snake.
Perez probably didn't even give him a choice on that one, man. He probably forced him to go to Real Madrid. Trust me, it wasn't his decision.
I watched the documentary. To be fair, it was a bit of both. I think he wanted a better contract at Barca than what they were offering, because he had just won them a title. And they weren't obviously keen on paying him what he thought he would deserve. And it was Perez, like that rat, that was saying, if you guys vote for me as like president, I'll bring you Figo by force. So then he did whatever he could to bring Figo. But there we go. That was 17th place. In 16th place, we are moving on up. We're getting towards our top 10 at last. Ali's given this guy some points. And again, no one else has put him in. Joey Barton. Before Ali talks, Stokes, why haven't you put him in? Are you saying that?
His social media activities, I mean, I'm not involved in any of that stuff.
So why haven't you put him in?
It's just one of them ones. I appreciate what he tried to do to Aguero and stuff. Like I don't see him as he's not a villain to me. He's a villain to a lot of people.
Oh, he's not a villain to you, yeah.
on the pitch. And I loved his like French accent and stuff and all that stuff. So yeah,
I see. I love his French accent. That's what they say about when they're like, oh, this guy did a lot of things to a lot of people, but he was a nice guy. That's the land of Stoke.
Something like that. Yeah.
I'll let Alex tell us why Joey Barton's on his list.
That Man City QPR game, that was one incident, but I can't remember what player he is, but he beat someone up in training, innit? Like, he smacked them up.
Usman Dabo,
yeah, absolutely smacked him up. And he used to bully players in training, according to Nida Manua anyway. He was a bit of a bully on the training pitch.
Yeah, he was a bad guy. He was.
Looks like the damage limitation here, bro.
I was thinking, and I remember the story about someone, like, he apparently threatened to stub a cigarette out in someone's eye and stuff. Like,
I think he did.
Yeah, he might.
I think he did do that. Yeah.
Look, you knew that story already, bro, and you still.
No, he knew it, bro. He knew it. But the French accent, he was alright, isn't it? Yeah. It's a top geezer.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Mav, your thoughts on Joey Barton?
I can't lie. I absolutely blanked on that one. He would be probably top 6. That's one I blanked on. There's another name I blanked on, and maybe he doesn't come up.
What team does the guy that you're thinking of play for? I'll look through our top 15 now. Just
he plays for the Mighty Red, did.
I didn't do him either, but I know you did.
We'll see. I'll be surprised if no one's put him
we'll see.
I will be surprised. But
in 15th place, we do have a United player, but I don't think it's the one you're referring to. It might be. It might not be. Alfie's the only one to put this guy, if I'm not mistaken. No, and Rossi put this guy in as well. Alfie and Rossi put this guy in. His name is Eric Cantona.
Oh, fairs.
Yeah, I thought about it. I did think about it. I really, really did think about it. But
you did volley a fan. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. Let's be honest. But other than that, there aren't that many things he did villainous, really.
Do you need anything else?
Actually, now I thought, you kind of do. You kind of do if you're making a top 10.
Like a whole catalogue of all
this. Imagine that happened in today's era, innit? Like somebody boosts a fan.
You need a few case studies, Ali. I can't lie. You need a few.
No, I'll be real. What Ali said makes sense here. Can you imagine that happening? Like, look at what happened to Hazard for kicking the ball at the ball boy.
Yeah.
I imagine volleying a fan. That one you might not play again. You know,
For sure.
They might lock it off permanently. So I hear it. Obviously, he had. Can I say he had a villainous aura? Like even when
I understand that
he's doing that thing with his collar, he's looking around.
Yeah.
He's doing the adverts in French, which Stokes would like, of course. He's doing
the leads to Man United, which was actually quite a big thing back then.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
Because Leeds were dominating back then, innit? So going to United and winning loads of trophies for them obviously does leave a sour taste in the mouth of Leeds fans. But there we go, 15th place. 14th, this is one that I'll give you guys a floor because I know of him, but again, I wasn't really watching like that. I know more from, I guess, TV shows afterwards. It is Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
One is Mav and Alfie. So Mav, chat to us.
He's for me again. Obviously, I didn't see his full career before anyone makes any jokes. But when I think back to Vinnie Jones, I just think of a nasty guy to the point that even post football, he's gone into acting and he only plays horrible gangster roles. Anything he could do to hurt people, that's all he was about.
That was them crazy Wimbledon days, isn't it?
Crazy gang they were called.
Yeah. I often get him confused. I don't know if you guys know this guy. His name is Neil Razor Ruddock.
Oh yeah.
I remember. I know you could have put Ruddock in here because I seen him one time on Can't Pay Will Take It Away. And that's when you're on that show here and the bailiffs are knocking and you're running and hiding, low-key you should get into my list. But I've only realized it now that I've separated the two of them. But fair enough. That is Vinnie Jones in 14th place. 13th, this is definitely one that slipped my mind. Aaron gave him 1 point. I'm going to be honest with you, man. There's no total 90, okay? So I'm going to just say if someone gave somebody 10 points. Stokes gave this guy the full house. Ooh. Maximum points. El Ajouf.
Yeah. It's just...
He's a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He absolutely... Yeah, he defo is.
Yeah, it's just... When I just think of like that, like a proper... Just, you know what I mean? A proper villain. Like everyone seemed to hate him. I think even the fans turned on him. Like he did. I think he even got into a big thing with Gerrard when he was at Liverpool. Like everything just went wrong. Like spitting, just not a very good guy. So I had to put him right up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. You go to Liverpool, you start beefing Gerrard. I mean, it's not going to end well. Do that. I mean, like, there's a lot of guys you can beef, and Gerrard isn't one of them. Like, you go ask that DJ that Gerrard. Anyway. Ali, you're forcing El Ajouf.
I hear it, but full 10 points for the youth when some of the names that haven't been said yet are going to come up. I can't lie.
Ali, are you saying that there's some sort of motivations behind him putting number one?
Okay.
I wasn't considering that, but you know what I mean? You know the crowd might go there.
Wait till you see my number 2. Then,
Oh, here we go.
Fair enough. All right. In 12th place, I am responsible for giving this guy a lot of points. Alfie and Ted have joined me. It might be the guy that you guys were referring to before. His name is Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's not who I was referring to, but I genuinely considered it. But I tell you the reason I didn't put him in, because I thought people would like murder me for it. But I truly think that people see him as a villain these days. And I truly think a lot of the antics towards the end of his career, the way he's acted, I definitely think it gets him in there, but I didn't know if people would be on me for it. So I'll be honest, that one was swayed by not getting hate.
I'll be honest, I had him super high up, because even ignoring, like, let's say United and whatever's happened since, like, for me, his whole career, he was like the villain in the Messi versus Ronaldo show. You know what I mean? I like to, I guess, like, support the villain for the most part, like through Real Madrid and whatever. Every time you look at like those times with Atleti, those comebacks, every time it's like he was like that Champions League guy, who you're 2-0 down, 3-0 down. Somehow this evil villain Ronaldo will end up bagging the hat trick, doing his sue, and then and dipping. So mine, even as purely footballing, I feel like he has to surely make the list. Maybe
I mean, even the more, I can't believe I bottled this. I should have just gone with my heart. But even like the Rooney wink, right? He was hated for a very even that situation, right? I can't believe I've kind of overlooked that one. I'll be honest.
He may be with the most or top 2-3 most loved, but also he's top 2-3 most hated.
Yeah, I'd fully agree. I'd actually fully agree with that. Yeah.
Ali, would you have maybe given Ronaldo a second thought to get on the list?
Yeah, I was considering him literally for the Rooney one, innit? Because that was his teammate at the time, I believe, innit? That's your boy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
getting him sent off.
They were boys then as
man, it's
well.
a bit
They were
deep.
boys.
And then even with his arguments with Ten Hag as well, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know if he was the villain in that specific story, but it's...
No, I agree.
I mean, he was the villain when he smashed poor Jake's phone on the floor at the Everton time, when he just stopped off it. That was really bad of him. But fair enough. Ronaldo is in 12th place. So we have one more name that didn't make the top 10. And I'm quite surprised. I have him, Stokes has him, Ali does, Haf does, and the mate Rossified also has this man in. It's one of the reasons why I made this video. Neil Maupay, 11th place.
Yeah, I get it.
I'll tell you why I put him in. Because a lot of these people, they can be hated for whatever reasons. They can be villains. They might get a lot of red cards. This guy actively knows that he is the one that rattles people. Like, he will go out of his way to rate other people's rattling and say, okay, you know what, if I did that, yeah, 8 out of 10. This one, not even I would do that one. And the thing with him is shameless too, because a lot of the times he loses. That's why he's so low. He's 9th on my list, because when he does it, he ends up losing a lot of the time. You think of the Madison darts one. There's some other occasions too where he celebrates a little bit too early. Arsenal fans definitely hate him. We saw Ty saying, you know, hold tight NHS, Black Lives Matter, but Neil Maupay, hope you get relegated. I think that has to be in Namath.
See, for me, you kind of said it there, but for me, I feel like he's a really average football player, and he cottoned on to it working for him being a villain. And for that reason, I feel like it's a media stunt more than it's truly coming from his heart. I don't think it's proper genuine. I think it's a bit of an act.
I view it the opposite way. I feel like if you're in, like, some of these guys rattle people by accident without, like, that's just their character. I almost respect them more if that's their whole purpose. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knows he's doing it. Like, he does the crying faces, like everything. Like, he loves
fair
it.
enough.
That's what I mean. Like, he is like, he's intentionally going out to rattle people. Forget about the end result or whatever. Yeah, he has no beef beforehand. He just starts like being a terrible person. Ali, obviously you got him in, so
yeah, I'm almost certain he's got a TikTok page now where he just analyzes moments that he's rattled. Yeah, I see him all the time.
Really? I've not seen that.
No, I literally see him all the time where he's talking about analyze. Oh yeah, this is why I did this, and I'm thinking, and it looks like it's his own page. Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
That, but
like I said, the only issue is he's just not very good. So it doesn't work that often. Yes. But there we go. Those are our honorable mentions. We can get into our top 10. However, before I do, the name you were looking for, you said he was a United player, Mav, yeah? That you forgot about.
Yes.
There are no United players in this top 10. So you
can
say whatever name it was.
Yeah, I was going to say Ryan Giggs, man.
Oh,
I can't believe I didn't put him on the list. Horrible human being. Oh my God.
No, fair.
That's a villain. Well, oh my Lord. Like, what more does he need on his list? I can't lie. That's
true. That's what you're thinking of Giggs as well when you're talking about
Yeah. There's another one as well, but we'll see. Liverpool player, but we'll see.
Let's get into our top 10. In 10th place, none of us have this guy actually, so interesting one. But I can hear why he's on there. Mav is a big fan of this person. Sergio Ramos, 10th place. You having that, Mav? Take away your love. So you're hearing it.
Is it Liverpool fans that vote?
Yeah, is it Liverpool? Because like
United.
I can understand. I wouldn't put him as a villain other than the Salah thing. What did he do that was villainous other than be a good centre back and get red cards? I don't know.
What about them pictures with Shakira as well? That's a bit villainous.
I didn't even know about that.
No, nor did I.
Shakira won an award for a song, and Ramos was the one that decided to go and present the award to her, and they were all like obviously buddy and whatnot.
I didn't even know. I didn't know about that. But
obviously, everyone knows Piqué and Ramos had beef. Like,
everyone knows Piqué and Ramos didn't like each other at all. So yeah.
Ali, consideration or not really for Ramos like that?
I did actually consider him because I feel like he's just got a bit of that reputation of being the guy that stands up more than anything, innit? Like, he's the guy that's always heard and seen, innit? I don't know if villain is the right word to describe him.
Yeah, I agree.
That is fair. No dramas. We'll go over to 9th place. Let me see who voted for this guy. I voted, Stokes voted, and Half voted. No one else really joined us. Again, one of the names that was responsible for me making this video, Emi Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
Again, his one.
I couldn't do it.
His one is because he does the rattling and he wins. That's why he's above Maupay by 1, right? He's got, again, I hated it when it was France that happened because I wanted, obviously, France to win it. But the entire nation of France rattled by that whole Colomboani save and then the penalty shootout afterwards. He does that nonsense with the trophy in front of like all the officials and that. Then he goes again, last week, the week before?
Yeah.
In the Conference League. France again, turning around and shushing the fans mid penalty shootout. Like who does that, bro? And it's them ones there where he's now got like such an aura that even stepping up to take a penalty, you're now panicking. You're thinking, what's his crackhead gonna do next? So that's why I had to have him. Stokes, your thoughts?
Yeah. Similar to me. I think with the you see a keeper doing something a bit dodgy. I think Onana did something, and they was like, he's doing an Emi Martinez. He's kind of created this whole little thing. And obviously there was that thing he did at Old Trafford, didn't he? He did it to the fans. So he loves it.
He also made Bruno miss a penalty by asking him why he wasn't let Cristiano take it, and then he absolutely smacks it over the bar.
That was elite.
I forgot about that one. That is crazy. A man said give it to Ronaldo, but you don't want it.
You should give it to him. Give it to him. That's insane. That's insane, by the way.
I can't lie.
That's
as
insane.
much as of a hater as I am, I have to respect it, man. I don't like the new, or not new rule, the rule that we just found out, rather, that you can't get a red in a shootout.
Onana did it as well, right? Onana in the FA Cup.
It basically
against
means
Coventry.
that, like, a goalkeeper, if you want, for the first penalty, just run up and smash it as far as you can to like make them go fetch the ball, because then you're gonna get a yellow, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'll behave now. But there we go. Emi is in 9th place. 8th place. I have him, Ted has him, Aaron has him, Rossi Fied has him. None of you guys join me though. Mario Balotelli. I want you to picture Rio Ferdinand grabbing him by the collar whilst he just has "Why always me?" That is villainous, bro. That alone, aside from all the fireworks and the other celebrations and quotes, that should be enough to get you on a top 10 villains thing. To wear "Why always me" while someone's grabbing your shirt, like raging, and you're there with a straight face. I had to have him. Mav, could you hear me out a little bit on that?
No, I can fully hear it. Just I don't know. I think a lot of the things he did were just bozo stuff, but not villain stuff. So like, I don't class it as anything he didn't do wasn't like villainous. It was just, he's just an idiot, and it's funny.
The story that always makes me laugh was like he got stopped, didn't he? Got like a traffic stop, and he had like massive amount of cash, like 30 grand on his car seat. And so what are you doing with all that money? He's like, I'm rich. Something like that.
Yeah. Why'd you have 30 grand on your seat? Because I can. And that was his response.
I almost have a soft spot for him. Like, I shouldn't do, but I do. I think he's fine.
No, but that's it. But like, I like them. Like, hear me out. The players that are villains, maybe it's just me anyway, but even just growing up, I enjoyed the villainous players, right? Yeah. So I understand Messi's better than Ronaldo, and again, always would be whatever. But like, let's say secondary school times, there's a saying, and I think I agree thoroughly. In fact, I may have started it and someone took it from Twitter. I did say, like, if you preferred Messi back in the day, you were a bit of a neek. And like, that's just how it went, isn't it? Like, Ronaldo was the guy, you try and wear his sock tape, you try and wear the arm thing, the mercurial boots or whatever.
I can kind of hear that,
Like, I liked the supporting, like, not the underdog, but the villainous side of things. Doesn't mean he's better or whatever, but again, there we go. I like backing guys with personality. But at last, top 7, this guy definitely has personality, but none of us put him in, surprisingly. Alfie, Ted, and Rossi have given him a lot of points. 2 of them are massive England till I die, I'm England till I die. So when I say the name Diego Maradona, you'll understand why he makes it onto the list.
Yeah, I'm just not old enough to care that much.
Now that I think about it, there is that story that we've mentioned before, Mav, isn't it? He did
the journalist, he did. I wonder what the journalist would say about him. He'd definitely say he's a villain. So
you reckon?
Yeah.
If Maradona shot me and I stayed alive, and I didn't really I think I'll be like, yo, you man, guess who shot?
No, I'm not.
Like Diego
Stop
Maradona.
showing everybody. Hey, yo, you man,
Yeah.
look at this.
No.
Man, shot me.
I tell you what, I'm picking up what you're putting down now. I think about it.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
if you
cold, bro.
survive, it's if you get X by it, then it's a different story.
No,
innit?
but I think it was like
it's a BB gun.
Yeah,
it was an air
Oh,
rifle.
that's
or
calm,
whatever, yeah.
man. He done
Yeah,
enough
he
in
did
football to
that.
clear
Yeah.
that, man.
I mean, that's calm.
Obviously, there's a lot of narcotic, discussions and things like that.
Yeah,
Stokes,
nah.
obviously, massive England till I die yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones that obviously we hear about it. I wasn't there, so contrary to belief, I wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah, that's a very you don't. It's one of them where you're told to dislike that moment, but you weren't even born. So it's like, how do you actually have
I think he's
a
love
feeling
guy
towards
on the
it?
whole, innit?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Your parents might say, "Oh, we don't like Maradona." It's like, okay, cool. That doesn't mean I have to listen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's true. In sixth place, we have a name that three of us have put in. Myself, Stokes, and Ali have put this guy in alongside the mate Rossi. So Mav and the Mott haven't put him in. Surprised in this one, actually. I thought Mav would be all over this one, but maybe forgotten. I don't know.
probably.
Elite rattler, Jamie Vardy.
Oh.
That's a man that has to be in your top 10. That guy, you ask for a catalogue of things that he's done. I mean, where do you even start? From kicking the flag that had, certain connotations on it, from the celebrations that he does that against the Eagles and that. I think it's impossible to have a list and not have Jamie Vardy. Ali, what has got Jamie Vardy onto your list?
The celebrations, like the fact that he sometimes comes with tailor-made celebrations for the team that he's playing. Like, he's putting thought into it, bro. He's thinking, when I score today, I'm gonna get these, man. So it's like, fair enough, Jamie Vardy, man. And the way he plays as well, it's a bit like that scrappy kind of striker. He's gonna get himself a goal.
I love it. I honestly love it. I think he'll just genuinely he'll score a goal, and his first thought is he points at part of the crowd and starts laughing. He just gives everyone gets a shush no matter what. He loves he thrives on that big away hatred atmosphere. And
he's the kind of guy that he plays even though he's cold, right, and he's got crazy legacy, right. He used to get 20 goals a year on a regular. That could be a waffle. Let me at least say 15, 18 goals on a regular. But he's the kind of guy that he plays every game like it's Sunday League. That's how he treats it. That's how he treats it. But then he'll go on Twitter, and one of my favorite moments of his, again, he has a lot on Twitter. One of my favorites is when Spurs were in that whole title race with them 2015, 16. And I remember Harry Kane tweeted a picture of lions that were hunting in a pack or whatever, as if to say, yo, we're Spurs and we're coming to catch Leicester. The moment that Leicester secured the title, this guy wasn't even saying we won or whatever. He just put a picture of what's my man in Lion King that was hanging off the edge of the
Mufasa.
Mufasa. He just put a picture of Mufasa, falling off the cliff, as if to say, Harry Kane. There you go, man. Hold that one. So he's a funny guy, bro. But so Mav, why haven't you got him?
I don't really know, to be honest. Maybe I did it wrong in the fact that I like his work. I really like his work. So
I'm a big fan of his work.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his work. So I guess I didn't put him in for that because I do love what he did. But that's not the criteria. So I probably should have put him in.
Even just
keep
the
doing
Air
it.
Joe and the
man.
5 and
Red Bull.
And
Jamie Vardy, Red Bull. Yeah,
fairs, man. All right, there we go. Getting to our top 5. This is a man who I actually don't have, or neither the Stokes actually, but Mav and Ali are giving him quite a few points. I understand why, definitely. Diego Costa. Ali kick us off. Diego Costa.
I'm surprised you don't have him. He used to rattle you, man. Got what's it called? Sent. Who was it? Gabriel Paulista that he got sent off.
Yeah.
He was the king at it. He never got a red card, so he never got caught. So he was good at getting away with it. On top of it, so I feel like he used to rattle all the time on the pitch. Still.
Whilst I agree, the reason why I can't get him into my list is because for what you said about rattling other people, I can't have someone in my list that got rattled by Rob Holding doing that. Rob Holding doing that to lock you up in a cup final. I'm sorry, man. It's not good enough. I hear his whole catalogue and that, but that's enough of a stain on your legacy to not make my list. But Stokes, you wait, did you have him or you didn't have him?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have. So
yeah. It's what I just didn't. I didn't think about him. I think he was a big time rattler. Like I loved what he did to Arsenal. Sometimes it's amazing.
Okay,
so, yeah.
okay. Guys, by the way, remember when Chelsea was 5-0? Remember on that? Remember that one. Matt P, remember that when Chelsea was 5-0 yesterday?
Yeah, I do remember that. There was no Diego Costa to be seen, so I do remember that. Unless he plays for you, you hate him. Even to the point, going back to Atletico, there's been nights where he's done things to Chelsea and they're a bit like, I don't like you anymore. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when you can reverse a fan base that love you as much as they do Diego Costa against you, so I think you have to be in the list of villains, to be honest.
In fairness, I mean, maybe that's happened to Kai Havertz yesterday as well, you know? The Chelsea fans, Ali, after he was doing that, remember, he was doing that. You remember? No? Ali, is it your connection, bro? Is it gone again?
It's almost about to go.
Yeah, to our top 4.
He won you a Champions League, no?
We gave him a Champions League.
Oh, yeah, the narrative has changed. The narrative has changed. Yeah. Last time it used to be he gave us a Champions League, but
It's crazy. Yeah. Right, top 4. Champions League spots, somewhere that Ali won't be. We have a defender. This one I fully hear it.
Yeah,
I didn't have him.
I think it's got to be, sure.
I didn't have him, and neither did Ali. But I think, again, just a lot of space. I knew you were going to get it anyway, so I just said, I'll put space for someone else. Pepe, the centre-back.
Oh, yeah.
Had to get in. Stokes.
Had to.
Why this is just because when I heard Ramos, I was like, you know what? That's such a big shout for Pepe because he was carrying the boat. Ramos wasn't really doing anything. Pepe was doing all the work for him. Like he was
guys' eyes, and
it was like UFC out there. It was honestly, it was unreal. Like some of those Clásicos were just him just bruling people, and it was it was good. It was good time. Yeah. Obviously, lots of red cards, like all that stuff.
Mav, I guess same for you.
Oh no, 100. Well, he used to get called Pepe the Assassin because the way he moved. So I mean, I think that says everything you need to know. There are multiple clips of him kicking guys up in the air because he doesn't like how he's treated his players. There's also a clip of him purposefully scraping his studs down the back of a striker who's gone down in the box, and then to add insult to injury, he's gone up, put his knee on them, and strangled them at the same time. Yeah. When a man is open to do that, when he knows there are cameras, you know he's a psychopath. Sergio Ramos is a pussycat in comparison to Pepe. He was a nutcase. Yeah. So
I think one of my favorite things about Pepe, again, I haven't got him in, but I definitely hear it, and I should probably make some space for him. He's the kind of guy that, like you said, even when there's cameras and whatever, especially now in the VAR era, he's the kind of guy that would do that, and get up like nothing happened.
Yeah.
He would do that. He would do the hands like that, bro. He's a bit like Casemiro in that regard. Like, he'll make a mad foul, Me? No, bro. That's the wrong guy still. That wasn't me.
That's a good tackle, wasn't it? I thought I got him at a decent height. Knee height.
There's though, man. I mean, hey, shout out to him, though. Still playing Champions League in his 40s, man. He's a madman. But we now get into our top 3. In 3rd place, we have, with 52 points, everyone has put this guy except Alfie. It's not a player. His name is Diego Simeone.
Yep, has to be.
Undisputed. All of us have him in. All of us have given him a good chunk of points in there. That Atleti team as a whole, that is like a villainous team. There's like... I know Real Madrid are also bad themselves, but in my eyes, it's like Real Madrid are like the good guys, and then it's Atletico Madrid who are just there to just ruin everyone's day. They gave, obviously, the 4 of us are, I'm not going to say Liverpool haters, but we're not Liverpool enjoyers per se. That hate watch for Liverpool Atleti, one of the best ever. When Morata scored and he was doing that, and you see Diego Simeone running, that's a serious guy, man. Ali, I imagine you must be a big fan of his antics.
Yeah, man, like just his style of play can be called villainous. His behavior on the touchline, like he's just someone you don't want to. When you need a win, you actually don't want to buck a team with Simeone in the touchline.
Nah, never.
Plus the David Beckham, I think it's David Beckham incident in the World Cup.
Yeah. I was going to give Stokes that one as a player.
Actually, was
leaving that one.
A little bit young, but like obviously, I remember just. It was kind of like Ronaldo. It was the same kind of thing. Like he kind of the face of the man who ruined our World Cup.
Did you see him in the documentary? The Beckham documentary?
Yeah.
Bro, so they got him to sit down, like he puts on his mic or whatever, and they asked Diego Simeone, what do you think about that Beckham thing? The guy that started creasing, bro. He started creasing, like what? You mean I feel salty about that? How can you come to this documentary and you're asking what? You're not still angry about that, bro. Like, move on, man. That's a serious villain. But yeah, there we go. Mav, big fan of his as well.
Yeah, and I think he has a guy that you put in your list. I think he gave us the greatest ever Cristiano Ronaldo celebration. And that was obviously after him dunking on them in the Champions League and giving it obviously that back. So for me, that's a Champions League night that I think we're going to hear for the rest of our lives. He's a very, very good manager, but he's an absolute villain still.
I mean, the black suit says enough, man. To wear that black suit every single day, bro. You ever seen him wear tracksuit? Never, bro.
Bro's dressed like
one
he's
black
going to a funeral every day.
Every day, bro.
You know, he's got black Air Forces when he's not in a suit as well. He's just got nothing to live for, man. Energy. Do you know what I mean?
We get on to second place then. Stokes and myself don't have him in, nor does Ted. He has got quite a few points. His name is Luis Suarez the Rat.
You don't have him in?
Yeah. I like to operate.
No. That is the biggest fraudery ever. Every opportunity, you disclude this guy from everything because of the way he is as a person. There's no. I demand a recount.
I don't really think about him. I
demand a recount.
As yes, you really don't have him in, bro.
Think about him. He's all you think about. Every time his name gets mentioned, redacted comes up, or you refuse to say his name. So I'm surprised you even said it just then. I demand a recount. He's number one in your list, you liar.
If it helps.
Liar.
Okay, he wouldn't have been number one. Let me be honest. If I put him in, I would have put him like 4th or 5th. I would have put him 4th or 5th, which would have got him still second. He would have been off by 1 point. So
you hear this? Any Ghanaians listening? This is one of you apparently.
We are not acknowledging that guy. That's what we're doing. My list is 10 villains. You know, like I said, I like villains. I don't like that dude. So my 10 actually, for the most part, I quite like him. Not Ten Hag and not Mike Dean, but players wise, I like Balotelli. I like Vardy. I like Ronaldo, Zlatan. I ain't no space for no Suarez. But
so for that reason, he's number one. Here we go.
Stokes, what are your thoughts on, obviously... oh, no, wait, you didn't put him, did you?
No, I mean, after what he did to Ghana, I just...
Exactly. Thank you, Stokes. This is a man who is, again, he's against racism as well, Stokes is, so that's why he's not put him in. So I highly respect
I'll say the truth. Complete oversight.
No, you didn't forget, man.
I completely forgot about it.
How can you forget? He's got racism, he's got biting people, he's got ruining an entire nation's World Cup, he's got multiple shouts of saying some outlandish things outside of football. 2 guys like Lionel Messi. I don't know what he hasn't done. So
things he hasn't done.
Allegedly,
what
just
about
for legal
scoring
reasons.
Against top 4 teams when he was at Liverpool? What about that in his most overrated season ever that he scored 31 goals and none of them were against big teams? That's something he hasn't done.
What's that? This is a villain conversation, not a football.
My bad. Sorry, when I heard you say what isn't he done, I thought...
Here we go.
All right.
Well, the guy handballed. He's actually the number one.
That'd be good if we heard a word of what you said. That would be lovely. I can't lie.
Your finger out. We're getting there. Last two, your finger out. Say it again.
The guy handballed and started claiming for a handball himself, innit? Like asking the referee. He's actually the worst, man. He's generally a bad player.
Goalkeepers catching it, he claims for handball for a goalkeeper using their hand in the box.
He's literally the best striker of our generation, and no one wants to put him there because he's such a bad guy. Like, that's the truth. Let's be honest, that's the truth of it.
And in first place, in our top 10 footballing villains, I had him in, Mav had him in, Ali had him, Alfie, Ted, Aaron, Haf, Rossified, all had him in. Stokes didn't. Do you know who it is or no?
I have no idea. I forgot. I must have forgot another one.
His name is Jose Mourinho.
Oh.
He had to be in. That was my number one. Okay. Ted had him number one. Aaron had him number one. A lot of guys had him like 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you why I had him number one. I feel like he is the epitome of being a villain. From the moment, even Porto, he was always the villainous act in getting Porto through and winning Champions League. You come to England, everyone hates him, i.e. like the persona of him or whatever, because he was like a love-hate kind of guy. And I'm not even going to go through all the stuff he's done over his years because there will be another whole hour of Mourinho stuff alone. But even now you think about it, Klopp is leaving. right? We all know Mourinho is washed. How is it possible that someone so washed, everyone low key kind of wants him at their club? Like you're low key thinking, you know what?
Maybe Jose.
I wouldn't mind a cheeky year with Jose, you know, until you've had him, obviously. So United fans, you're not going to want that anymore. But Liverpool fans, Newcastle, they're like, you know what? Jose, I hear that. Stokes, why isn't he in your list?
Yeah,
Forgot.
Oversight. But like at the same time, I quite like him. Like what I loved so much about Jose at the start was like he really just attacked Wenger, and I loved that so much. But
I loved it when Arsene Wenger just shoved him as well. Like, grab him. He showed him to keep talking.
But yeah, I mean, I saw the Schweinsteiger thing recently as well. That made me a bit angry. But yeah, no, he should be in there. I forgot, really and truly.
Ali, you are probably the best man to gas up Mourinho's villainous ways.
Yeah, man. The guy was bullying Wenger for
his rap
years. Called him a specialist in failure, then dunked on him 6-0 in his 1000th game. But I think
I think you're getting your timeline on a bit wrong there. You called him a specialist in failure, and then we dunked on your head in that incredible Community Shield.
Bro's talking about Community Shield.
And then Arsene Wenger blanked him. No, Arsene Wenger ended his career.
Yeah, I think my favourite like villain moment of his is when he poked that Tito Villanova eye of like whilst everybody's just arguing, man, just went over, poked his eye on time. Now, who does that?
He's got a lot of them in it. He's got a lot of them. I'll be honest, like again, as a massive hater of his, yeah, I wish he was in the Prem. I don't care what team, not Arsenal, but I wish he was at the Prem because his interviews are hilarious. His quotes, again, one of my favorites. There's all like the respect, whatever. One of my favorite ones is when he was being criticized for playing like terrible football, park the bus or whatever. They were asking him, like, what do you think about guys saying you play bad football? He said, oh, who plays good football? And then, you know, the interviewer is just saying, oh, I don't know, I'm asking you a question. Mourinho says, oh, you gonna tell me like maybe Arsenal plays good football? The guy's like, yeah, I'll say Arsenal. Yeah. 4th place. And I said, you know what? Like, there's no need for that, yeah? Like, they're top of the league, yeah? He said, oh, Arsenal play good football, yeah? Yeah, where are they in the league? I said, all right, man, fair enough. He's hiding in baskets during, you know, European nights, and I think he's the villain. Mav, surely a bit higher on your list after hearing that, no?
Nah, not for me. I do think he has had his villainous moments. But again, being number one is insane in my opinion. But it does come down to you lying about your list, so that also does help.
No.
There's a 10 points taken from Suarez, or at least a 9 from Suarez from you lying. But no, I think Mourinho is definitely a villain. He's had villainous moments. But I don't know. I just like to say Mourinho is more of a villain than Simeone is insane to me. I don't really see that one personally. I don't see it.
Deep it properly.
I don't see it.
Think about Barca versus Inter.
Yeah, but
he was a former Barca, obviously, employee, and he's running down the stadium doing that in the air. Can you think of a manager doing knee slides before Mourinho? You can't. What? Maybe there is someone. I can't think of one.
I don't really. I can't lie. I haven't analysed managers celebrating that much, but I don't know.
There's not a lot of them.
I just think
Canio did it that one time for Sunderland.
I think a lot of stuff he did is just funny, you know. And he's not above guys like Simeone and Luis Suarez. There's no chance.
I don't know, man. I think he is the footballing villain. Like if you're telling a story about football or whatever, you're making a whole movie out of this entire sport of the last 20 years. One of the main villains is going to be Jose Mourinho. Everything he does, from what Ali said about bullying people and the stuff he says about people, rattling guys. I mean, as far as rattling goes, he's arguably number one for that on this.
Yeah,
do you know what
I agree on that part. Yeah,
I think recently he's really working to change his image in it and be that lovable.
He's mellowed down, isn't it? He's mellowed down.
Becoming that lovable old man kind of thing. Oh yeah,
he's showing up in that Stormzy video.
No, early doors he was arrogant and for sure. But like I said, I don't know. I don't see it as a lot of his moments. I don't see as villainous.
Crazy. Fair enough. Anyway, fair enough.
Come home, Jose.
Right.
Come home.
He is in my list, right? I put him 5th. So
yeah. Oh no, you put him 8th. So
did I?
Fair. That's what, give him a couple.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I probably meant to put him like 5th in my mind, but
well, there we have it. That is our top 10 list of the biggest football villains. I'll repeat again, and you can see our list on screen just for why not. 10th, Sergio Ramos. 9th, Emi Martinez. 8th, Mario Balotelli. 7th, Maradona. 6th, Jamie Vardy. 5th, Diego Costa. 4, Pepe. Third, Diego Simeone. Second, some Uruguayan dude losing, because in first place we have Jose Mourinho. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Not as much as I enjoyed Havertz doing that to Ali yesterday, but you know, I enjoyed it still. Hopefully you guys did as well. Slap some likes, comments, whatever. Put your villains that
Chelsea
maybe
are so pants.
we may have forgot a lot of villains as well, so put them in the comments. Coming soon, we'll have our serious top 10 list again of I think it's centre mids coming in a couple weeks. We got to go back to, and then of course all the end of season predictions will be loading soon. So stay tuned for those ones. Have a wonderful week. In a bit, Bosh.